recent topic you can have the exchange rate falling tendency of India or many more countries. So, you know, in very recent times, the Indian currency rate, exchange rate, is more than 85. More than 85, and it is historically depreciated. And you know what is the reason behind this? There are a number of reasons, concept, and also capital account. And if you consider the current account, then export import concepts are there. And if you consider the capital account, then capital inflow and capital outflow concept is there. So if the, for example, there is in the market, in the forex market, somehow the demand for foreign currency is high, then the currency, the value of the currency falls. If the supply of the foreign currency is high, then the currency appreciate, the domestic currency appreciate. So, if you have a proper understanding of the dancing of the dancing of the exchange rate, then very clearly you should have some concepts: nominal exchange rate, real exchange rate, and forex market, and you can have the understanding of markup price. So, what is the nominal exchange rate? Nominal exchange rate is an exchange rate, is a rate, how many domestic currency you have in terms of $1. So this is the nominal currency. Or you can say, to purchase $1, how much you have to pay in terms of domestic currency. For example, for our country, how much rupee you need to buy $1. In the real exchange rate concept, it is very important and crucial, Real exchange rate is determined by the three things. One is the nominal exchange rate, another is domestic price of goods, and foreign price of goods, foreign goods price. So, real exchange rate is proportionally related with the nominal exchange rate and also with the domestic goods price, but inversely related with the foreign goods price. So clearly you can have a ratio between the domestic price of goods and the foreign goods price. So real exchange rate is determined by all these three things. Here is a natural tendency. Both the exchange rate, that is nominal and real exchange rate, move in the same direction. So if the direction is same, then what happens? And if the direction is not same, then what will happen? It is found that If we take the example of our country, then up to 2010, the direction of both the two currencies are the same. But after 2010, the direction is different. So, what is the mechanism behind this? If the direction is in the same way, then if the currency depreciates, you should remember very carefully, if the currency depreciates, then export will increase. And this export is very crucial for the income of the country or GDP of the country. So, in one sense, the country will be benefited by the falling of the value of the domestic currency. So, but if the value of the domestic currency falls, but the direction of the real exchange rate and the nominal exchange rate is different, then the problem arises. And that actually happens after 2010. You know, and at that time the export will not increase because of the depreciation of the currency. Export will not increase, so it will naturally hamper the economic growth of the country. You know, the exchange rate is determined by in the forex market and also by the central bank policy, As I have mentioned that in the forex market, by the demand and supply of the foreign currency, the value is determined. But on the other hand, if the central banks takes the policy of floating exchange rate, and you can have fixed exchange rate or managed floating exchange rate, then the exchange rate could be controlled by these three things. So in case of fixed exchange rate, if the currency depreciates, then whatever the reserves in the reserves of the foreign currency is under the Reserve Bank, they will sell that foreign currency and try to adjust, stabilize the value of the currency. But in case of floating exchange rate, market will determine demand and supply. By the demand and supply, the value is determined. There is no role of central banks. But in case of managed floating exchange rate, there is some a portion of the depreciation is controlled by the selling of or deaccumulating of foreign currency, and a portion is determined by the floating exchange rate, by the market mechanism. So the problem arises in case of India after 2012. So, you know, the capital inflow and capital outflow by the policy of the central bank may be tempered. If there is depreciation and then the currency is and government and central bank has taken the managed floating policy, then the outflow of foreign currency, the proportion, the outflow for foreign currency, the amount of outflow of foreign currency, for example, is as much, that is not equal at the time of currency appreciation. At the time of currency appreciation, the inflow of foreign currency. Because if there is inflow of foreign currency, then what happened? The currency may be, the domestic currency may appreciate, and if it appreciates, then export will hamper, the value of the goods of the country will increase, and it will hamper the exports. And fearing this situation, to some extent, in case of managed floating exchange rate system controlled by the Reserve Bank or the central bank of a country, inflow of capital is restricted. So outflow of capital, that is for controlling the exchange rate, and our inflow of foreign currency for controlling the appreciation of the currency is not the same. And as a whole, there is a capital outflow is more than the capital inflow, and it will reduce the value of the currency. So in case what is actually happening after 2010, the direction, the real exchange rate and the nominal exchange rate are different. Because when the nominal exchange rate depreciate, then the real exchange rate also depreciate. But if the domestic price increases at the higher rate than the rate at which the nominal exchange rate falls, then real exchange rate will rise. Here, the direction, the twist has come, and the point of inflection you can find that here is the point, crucial point, where the direction of both the nominal exchange rate and the real exchange rate has changed. So, if the price of the domestic good increases relative to the fall in the nominal exchange rate, real exchange rate will increase. So, if there is a increase in the domestic goods price, then ultimately the effect will be on the export. So whatever gain you can have because of the depreciation of the nominal currency, you will not be able to benefit by increasing the export if the direction of the nominal exchange rate and the real exchange rate is different. And if there is a adverse effect of depreciation of a currency, one is the positive thing, and another is the negative thing, and one is the real exchange rate channel, and another is the domestic good price. So in case of India, after 2010, the effect of exchange rate, the effect of the falling of nominal exchange rate is increases at the same time increases the domestic goods price, resulting that changes of direction, exports is not increasing. So policy should be central government's policy should be in such a way so that the direction of nominal exchange rate and real exchange rate should be in the same way. And if you find the time plot of the markup price means the price over the cost, the price actually settled over the cost of the production of a particular good, and markup price is increasing for different reasons. If the markup price is increasing, and that is actually happening in India after 2010, there is a tendency of increasing trend in the markup price, and that is the reason for changing the directions of weakening of currency put pressure on the domestic price, in the same way, you can say the delinking of or the changes in direction, there is another pressure. It is an additional pressure that put on the adjustment of the net export, as well as the balance of payment adjustment mechanism. So whatever the effect of the depreciation of a currency is related with the export, and if you have the like to get the positive impact on the export because of the depreciation of the currency, so policy should have from the end of the central bank. Most of the countries in the world, you can find the same directions in the real exchange rate and nominal exchange rate. And there is India and a very, very few countries where you can find the delinking concept of real exchange rate and nominal exchange rate. So if you consider Indian exchange rate, then the central bank should have some understanding, should have some policy changes. Whether they will take the policy before the 2010 or anything else. So this is the, you can say, the mechanism of impact of exchange rate on any economy, and this here is the importance of forecasting of exchange rate and for taking the appropriate policy for the economic growth of any country. Thanks.